Lauren, where does Thinktank differ within private credit?
That's a good question. Thinktank, I see Thinktank operating in the non-bank lending space and the private credit space, because in non-bank lending you get a lot of capital from warehouse funding and the debt capital market, so there's a very big institutional oversight and institutional investment. The private credit space is more direct investors, so Thinktank offers both to investors really.
And how does private credit and non-bank lending complement traditional fixed income portfolios?
Yeah, for investors who are comfortable with illiquidity and who are looking to reduce a bit of volatility, private credit can help with that. It produces a relatively regular income stream. You've got a variety of assets that you can choose from to invest. When it comes to liquidity, it's really important to understand how the fund creates liquidity. Is it because the loans are amortizing, so they're paying principal and interest? Is it reliant on an asset sale? Is it reliant on refinance in the institutional markets or through other means? So when it comes to liquidity, it's really important that advisors and investors understand how that's generated, and if they're comfortable with that illiquidity, then it can help balance out the volatility with their public markets investment.
And what protections or characteristics make resi property or residential property positive from a risk and income standpoint?
Australians love residential property. A lot of lenders who will lend to existing residential property, so not construction and development, you're looking at conservative LVRs, sort of 65% on an average. There'll be some that are higher, some that are lower. And because you've got that equity buffer and you've got a large diversified pool of residential mortgages, you're protected from if one borrower or one asset underperforms. Also, you own the debt, so it would have to perform quite significantly, but you've got diversification in the pool. And the lower LVRs also help with protection, and because the asset is income producing, so it's not a construction or development asset, you've got a physical asset there that can be sold if need be.
And how should advisors weigh up the liquidity versus volatility comparison or standpoint?
It really comes down to how much liquidity their clients need and true liquidity. And again, you can invest in different private market investments where it creates liquidity by those loans paying down, or it's on a project by project base. But I think it really comes down to understanding from the client how much liquidity do you truly need. If you couldn't get this capital back in the allocated time frame, how would that impact you? And if it wouldn't impact them too much, then they can start looking at diversifying across different private markets to try and balance out that volatility without putting the client in an illiquid position that they actually may not be comfortable with.
And what's one of the biggest misconceptions about investing in your sector?
I think the misconception is that non-bank lending or private credit means that the borrower is not of quality. There are plenty of reasons why borrowers utilise non-bank lending. A lot of non-bank lenders have got a really strong track record of performance over sort of 20 years through multiple cycles. So I think the big misconception is that the underlying quality is poor. Once investors are educated as to why borrowers use non-bank lending, there are some pretty attractive yields on offer, again, provided they're comfortable with the illiquidity.
Lauren, thank you.
Thanks, Drew.